All right, sorry to wake y'all up on that, but welcome to George's on the Town. It's the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Yeah, thank y'all for the enthusiasm back there. It's always good to do these after a win, and last week the Eagles went on a 36-0 unanswered run to come back from down 26 against the Manor Mustangs, and this week the Eagles will take on the Hendrickson Hawks. We have a good show lined up for you. Of course, we'll talk with head coach Chuck Griffin. I believe we have a couple players lined up, and someone from the Booster Club always shows up. Usually it's Brian Hawkins. We have a fun show to dive into as we start Game 3 of district play, and we'll talk about all of that and more coming up on SHN Sports Eagle Nation Coaches Show, live from George's on the Town. We're here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I'm your host, Carl Schoening. Got a good crowd out here tonight. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for watching live on SHN Sports YouTube page. Given a new trial by fire here for the wireless transmitter, and so far, so good. All right, we'll be back in a moment with head coach Chuck Griffin.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
Is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step
Or 2,
or 3,
we can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
George's on the Town, a social grill, is a proud supporter of GISD Athletics. Located just off of South I-35 in Rivery, George's on the Town offers an upbeat, casual dining experience that's fun for everyone. From rehearsal dinners and work events to happy hour and Sunday brunch, there's always something to do at George's on the Town. Be sure to check out live music on their pet-friendly patio every Thursday at 7, and of course the Eagle Nation Coaches Show on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We can't wait to see you.
Hey, it's Chip from Hewlett Volkswagen. It's that time of year for fall, football, and family. And our family has been making it easy on your family for almost 20 years, like with our new Express online shopping tool, where you can find the perfect Volkswagen fit for your life and budget. This month, save $3,600 on a new 2020 Jetta S. You can drive away in a brand new Volkswagen for under $20,000. We have a lot to choose from. Hewlett Volkswagen, off I-35 in Westinghouse, or see for yourself at hewlettvw.com.
All right, back at George's on the Town. Happy y'all came out here. Good crowd this evening. I'm Carl Schoening, now joined by head coach of your Eagles, Chuck Griffin. And Coach Griffin, word around town is that y'all are getting to be known as the comeback kids. 3 wins, 3 comebacks. And I know Coppers Cove was only, the first score, and you came back and led the whole way after that. But it's interesting that you guys have had 3 games where you've won, and all 3 were comebacks in a sense.
Yeah, they have been. I'd like to change that trend and just win from the start. That'd be good if we can play 4 quarters. But a win's a win, and we'll take them any way we can get them.
That Manor team did jump out on you, and then you made some adjustments. What were the key differences from when you were down and when you were up?
Yeah, we changed a few things defensively. We got some personnel back. That was big. But also I think a big thing was we were kind of moving in slow motion. So that's been our challenge this week, is to start. And we wanted a higher tempo, faster pace of practice. We wanted folks moving around a lot quicker at practice and just kind of getting into a mode of, man, I got to play fast, got to play quick. That was the big stress this week, because we were able to do that in the second half, and obviously played a lot better that way.
We love talking about Pat the Legend here, and how often does his game plan have to change on the fly? That was a big story this week with the Dallas Cowboys, that they couldn't change on the fly, but obviously that's not an issue for you guys.
Well, I think that's high school coaching in a sense, is you're always changing on the fly. We don't get to recruit our players. We don't get to hire our players. We get what we get, so you always have to change on the fly. And, whether you're dealing with injury or you're dealing with grades or you're dealing with this year dealing with COVID, you've got to be willing to change on the fly. And you got to have some schemes up your sleeve that you can that you can put out there and go be successful.
Now, obviously, you can't go out and recruit players, but two of your key players this past week against Manor were essentially transfers in Daniel Obina and Nate Denny, who we'll have on the show today.
Yeah.
How is it to, just get those guys that maybe didn't come up in your system, but you're very happy to implement into it?
Oh, man, we love having players. Everybody loves to get a player now and then. And, part of that is, I think, the tradition of Georgetown football and the community. We've got a great community, a great place to live and work, and people come here for that. I think our football program has a good reputation. And that puts a little pressure on me, just a little weight on your shoulders about what you've got to uphold and what you got to do and what you've got to try to improve, because it's got a good reputation. So you've got to take care of it. You got to be a good steward of it. And anytime we get great players in, that's helpful. So we were excited to get those guys. Been fortunate to have one or two, over the last few years that have kind of helped in, and both those guys have helped out this year.
What do you see in this week's upcoming opponent in the Hendrickson Hawks?
I think they are an older, very well-coached Manor football team. They're extremely athletic. Coach Keelan and those guys have been there since opening school, and they do a tremendous job. They're very well coached, and they're more senior heavy. Manor had a lot of youth, and Hendrickson doesn't. They're a good football team. We're gonna have to go play well for all 4 quarters. And, they're good offensively. They got a good scheme. Defensively, man, they're just sound. They just line up and play. And they got players out there. So they're a good football team. We're going to have to go play well. And we got to play all 4 quarters this week to get a win.
And you mentioned that at the jump, playing all 4 quarters. And you also mentioned that they have some senior latent teams, so you don't necessarily have those young mistakes. But is there a way that you can sort of force mistakes? Is that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you force mistakes by the way that you play, the intent that you get there when you're trying to tackle, the schemes and things that you can run. You can always try to force mistakes. I mean, that's part of the game, is trying to force the other team to make mistakes. And so I think that's always part of your game plan, and being sound in what you're doing and kind of making sure that they maybe don't see what's coming. So I think trying to force them to make some mistakes is always key.
Now, this week with the addition of Nate Denny coming in, you were able to switch up some roles, and Ryan Eady was even put in the slot a little bit, and I think he got a touchdown out of the slot, if I'm not mistaken. So now that you have so much talent in the skill positions, what do you do with all of that?
You got to find ways to use it every week. And, Ryan was able to come in there. Both of those guys did a great job rushing. Ryan had led the night on rushing touchdowns and had a couple of really big runs for us. It was a 2-point conversion is what he caught. And he wasn't actually at the slot. He's just another back in the backfield. We just had 2 backs in the backfield, and he just slipped out of there and was able to catch that. So, I think it's just finding ways to get those guys on the field in various ways and trying to get the ball in their hands. That's part of what we do is, looking at, okay, how many touches is this kid getting, how many touches is this kid getting, what's the best way to get the ball in their hands, and so we try to do a good job of planning that out, and then it always changes as the game goes on, and you just try to continue to roll that and feed the hand that's hot.
Keys to this week here is it's a rare week where we have back-to-back games at Birkelbach.
I think our keys to victory this week, number one, we got to start fast. We got to play well. We haven't scored on the opening drive on offense yet. That's big. We need to do that. Second thing is we cannot make mistakes. The big thing that's hurt us offensively has been some penalties. We have a big play and we have a penalty, and it puts us behind the sticks. We need to be consistent in staying with the sticks. And then defensively, we got to tackle well. We've got to bring 9 hats to the ball every play, and we got to play fast. We got to tackle well, and I think if we can do those things, we can get a W.
All right, looking forward to it. And it's another 7 o'clock kick this Friday at Birkelbach. So, Coach, any final thoughts before we sign off?
No, man, we hope to see you guys at our blackout game this Friday. And wear your mask and come early and be loud and stay late.
Right, I was there Wednesday early on blackout. So, looking forward to it. All right, thanks for your time, Coach. And
thanks, Carl.
Next up, Nate Denny, are you in the house? All right, we'll bring you up next after the break. All right, thank you, Coach. And thank you guys for being out here at George's on the Town. Thank you guys for watching live on the stream. I'm the host, Carl Schoening. That was Chuck Griffin. And next up will be the new kid in town, Nate Denny, when we come back on SHN Sports.
George's on the Town, a social grill.
They didn't want to hear me, but they want to hear Nate.
All right, welcome back to George's on the Town. Y'all got me back there? All right, hey. Happy you guys came on out to George's on the Town. Always a great social grill to hang out. We are joined by the new kid on the block, Nate Denny. And Nate, for those of you that don't know, that haven't been keeping up with the broadcast, you transferred from Oregon, where, as I understand it, they're not going to have any high school sports. So, you know, we're happy to pick you up from over here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
I like the sunglasses, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I got to keep it shady in here, you know.
I understand that. So, what was that process like? Because you weren't eligible to play until this week against Maynard, and then you came out with a bang.
Yes, sir. Basically, the UIL denied my appeal 4 days before our first game, and we had to put together a package to appeal it and basically just get that reversed, which there was a low chance of, but we did a great job, had a lot of support. We had a lawyer and everything, and we got it flipped, and I was back for Maynard.
Yeah, I imagine they probably had a good handful of people that did the same thing, where they, you know, just figured out where they could go right after. I heard a lot of people from Oregon went out to like Idaho or something like that. But the good news is you're here in Texas, and this is its own country if you hadn't already figured that out.
Sir.
And it's also much warmer this time of year than Oregon. You enjoying the warm weather?
I love the warm weather. I like getting a little sweat in the morning, and yeah, I really enjoy it actually.
So down to the X's and O's, you came out of the backfield a lot. You were on special teams, and it looked like you didn't miss a beat.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had a lot of playing time. I was a little out of shape, and I felt like I was kind of slow. But, you know, I think it'll be better this week. But I was ready. Yeah, I got a lot of playing time.
That's great. Well, you know, it's something that people kind of been telling me. You're also a wrestler. So is there a wrestling program here at Georgetown you'll be part of, or are you just keeping it on football?
There is a wrestling program, but I will not be a part of it. I am done wrestling forever. Yes, sir.
And I also understand you're a Yale commit.
Yes, sir.
What are you going to be doing at Yale? Because that's probably much like beyond my grasp of understanding.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be playing football, and also
You're majoring in football at Yale.
I'm going to try to major in football. No, I'm going to do something STEM-based. I'm pretty good at physics and calculus, and I really enjoy science and math, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on.
You lost me at STEM-based.
Yes, sir.
Great. Well, you had all those offers from, I think I saw Cornell, Penn. How do you narrow down which Ivy League school you're going to go to?
You know, that was a great question. That was tough for me to figure out. But basically, it was coaching relationships. I really enjoy the coaches at Yale, and I think they've got a great plan for me for the minute that I step on the field. And they have a great strength program, and I just feel like it was the best fit.
What do you know about this upcoming Hendrickson Hawks game?
I know that we're going to ball out and whoop some Hendrickson booty. That's what I know, sir.
All right, yeah. And you know, you got an opportunity here to shout out your offensive line. I'm sure that your success predicates a lot on them, as I see a couple of them flexing over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, when you talk about just being implemented into a new system, like I mentioned with Coach, you didn't grow up in this system. So what are the challenges of just coming in with a whole group of guys that you hadn't met?
Yeah, it was a pretty big learning curve. I had a lot of help. Ryan Eady, who's the starting running back, he helped me a lot. During practice, he would help me with my signals and help me with my reads. But I think football, relatively, it took me a little bit to figure out. But spread was a lot easier than the triple option, which I was learning in Oregon. So it's a lot easier to read here than it was back there. But basically, I just had to learn the signs and, you know, pretty generalized reads. But, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
What's easier, football or physics?
Oh, football by far, yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think I even took physics. So, yeah, that's probably something we couldn't really have much of a conversation on. Well, how did you end up here in Georgetown? What was the story behind that?
Yeah, I wanted to further my education for Yale. So in Oregon, they were doing a pass-fail system, and Yale didn't take that. I would have had to redo some classes and all that. So to have the best situation to set me up at Yale, I decided to move in with my grandparents over here and attend Georgetown High School.
I'm a little surprised that Yale has a situation like that seems a little off base. But, hey, whatever got you down here, we're happy to have you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Appreciate
it,
man.
Good game the other night. And, yeah, that's Nate Denny coming on to the show here for SHN Sports production of Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Thank you all for coming out here. Y'all have been a great crowd so far. Daniel Obina, yep, I recognize the big man. Come on up. Yeah, we don't need a break. Come on in. Now, we had your brother Emmanuel on, I think, first week on, but happy to have you on as well. I think you were the Defensive Player of the Week. Yeah. You had quite a few tackles. You were mixing it up there in the trenches. What were they just chanting for you to come up? Did you happen to hear what they were saying?
Not really. Well, it's just my name is Danny. You know, yeah, basically.
Well, you and your brother, I believe it was Cedar Park you transferred from. So this is your first year at Georgetown, correct?
We transferred from Stony Point.
Stony Point,
Yeah.
beg your pardon. It's one of those schools that wear green.
Yeah.
Well, happy to have you wearing the blue here. And, same kind of question we had with Nate. What have been sort of the challenges of, on the other side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, learning how to play with a new group of guys and new system?
Like at Stony Point, we ran a 4-3 instead of we only ran a 4-3 base. So here we run 3-4. We run a bunch of packages. So I just have to get adjusted to it. And I play the nose position, so I'm always getting double teamed. I used to play 3-tech at Stony Point where I'd only have a single block. But I'm adjusting to it well, you know. I learned the plays fast and on my D line, and my coach helps me out, you know. And then I picked up really fast. So that's it, yeah.
Now, I didn't play defense, but I imagine that's probably one of the easier positions there, that nose guard. I played center, so I always had to go up against the nose guard, and it's pretty much just go after the football and keep your position in the trenches. If you can get past them, great, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that makes it easier, and, your brother plays linebacker back there, so how's that relationship been, having both of y'all on the starting defense?
Well, it's pretty cool because, I always, dream to play with my brother. Since I'm a sophomore and he's a senior, and then we always planned on it. I would because he's always been good, and then I was all right, I'm gonna have to get good so I could play alongside my brother. So this year we're starting on the same side of the ball. And it's just cool whenever we both get a tackle and stuff like that. It's pretty nice.
Have y'all teamed up for a couple tackles so far this season? Because, he's right behind you.
Yeah, he's right behind me,
so I imagine that's probably happened a few times. I'll need to keep a better eye out for that come during the regular season as we continue on here. Halfway through the season, how would you evaluate, your play and the team's play?
Our play, my play personally, I think I've done a pretty good job at holding my ground. I think I could improve on getting more pressure to the quarterback. But that's just because I get double teamed every play, and I do a pretty good job at stopping the run too. But overall as a team, we just need to focus on getting to the football. This whole week, we've been running gassers because we haven't been getting to the football. So now we know when we play Hendrickson on Friday, we're getting to the football. So yeah, basically our defense will be straight for this game. We just gotta work. We just gotta work fast,
Talked about how y'all were the comeback kids, obviously the Belton, and Coppers Cove was a lot, less of a comeback. And then this past weekend against Manor, what kind of adjustments does Coach Pat have for you guys that you guys that you can share with the public watching on the internet and in the stands here?
So, Coach Pat's he's a very slick guy, he's good at adjusting our defense very fast based on personnel to any team. So any team we play, we're always prepared for it.
Awesome. Well, what do you see against this upcoming Hendrickson Hawks team?
They probably have the second best O-line we played, Cedar Park at first. So all we just got to do as a defense, we just have to penetrate, get to the ball really fast, and then whenever we see the quarterback, running back, we just hit them, And then we have to have everybody to the football, just pounding the defense, offense, yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously the key. Every week you go up against somebody and you got to get to that football. So those gassers, you don't want to run them next week. Exactly.
No, we don't. We're supposed to run them today, but Coach forgot, so we're good.
Yeah. Well, I hope he forgets tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, shifting gears to school, are you one of the 5 people I think I've heard roughly attending classes, or are you a remote learner?
I'm attending classes.
Oh, okay. Well, that you're the first one. So how was it kind of like school, a little bit more of a ghost town than usual?
I personally, I know if I go home, I'm not going to get any work done. So I have to go to school so I can stay on top of my grades, I have all A's, 1B, so I like staying on top of my grades. So like colleges look out for that stuff, you know.
That's awesome, that kind of self-awareness. I probably would be the kid who would, not get it done and be at home playing video games all day back in my high school days. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
great play last week. Good luck this upcoming week. And, thank you, everybody, for coming on out. This was Daniel Obina joining us here, the nose guard for the Georgetown Eagles. Thank you for the little dance. I appreciate that as well. Always appreciate the enthusiasm from everybody here, y'all watching at home. The wireless transmitter has worked great, by the way. Hasn't gone out on us once, so knock on wood there. When we come back, we have our Booster Club segment here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. All right, back here at George's on the Town. It's the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. I'm your host, Carl Schoening. Sorry, you okay there? Our Booster Club segment with Kate Pledge, and sorry about the headphones. You got me all right?
That's okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
So you're actually out here every week. We appreciate you attending,
Thank you.
And you're a member of the Booster Club as well. So
yes, I am.
Do you have any family playing on the team, or are you just a big Eagles fan?
No, I have not had a child playing football since 1986, but I am a big Georgetown fan. We've been here 12 years, and my husband Chuck has been a sports photographer until a couple of years ago. So we made all the games, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, and so all of these kids are my kids anyway. And I've had all these grandkids for the last 12 years, so they're mine.
Oh, that's a blessing to have,
yes,
huh?
Yeah. This team I don't know as well because Chuck's not been working at Georgetown High School any longer. But I'm getting to know them through the football team, so I'm very glad, and we're very tickled with the new transfers in. Gosh, y'all are good.
Well, yeah, we're happy to have them in
Yes.
Georgetown. And, the big thing that we do here on this Booster Club segment is just kind of promote the upcoming events for
Right.
Friday. So what do we have on the slate for Friday?
Well, Friday night we do have a tailgate. It's at 5:30 between the baseball park and the football, and we're serving hot dogs. It is free, but we do take donations because otherwise it costs us money. So we'd appreciate it if you put in a couple of dollars. But please come out. The band comes and stands where we are, and the football boys come through, and we wish them good luck on their way in. So please come out and come to the football game. As Coach said, wear your mask, be loud, stay late, and enjoy the game.
And wear black, too.
And wear black, too.
Yeah, good note that it's a blackout again, or this second home game in a row at Birkelbach. So last week we talked about it. Coach, I don't know if you've followed through on it, but have we gotten you a play of the game?
No.
No?
I'll leave that to the coach. I think he's very capable.
Yeah, I know. I was just messing with you. Happy to have you.
I'm not dumb.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, it's always good to have the coaches to just handle their jobs. And,
Right.
But it
That's
sounded
what
like
we pay him for.
it sounded like a good idea. Like I figure, you're watching all the games. There might be something that you notice, and it's like, oh, let's run a trick play like that.
Well, we used to be in Sun City, and Sun City Boosters would do a play every year. And when the football boys would come out for the Meet the Eagles. So they didn't do that this year, so I guess the coach will just have to be on his own.
Yeah, well, we'll figure out how to, run a game of Madden where you can set up a play and see if it works out maybe sometime at the end of the season and get it sponsored and all that stuff.
Okay, we'll try that.
You sound very comfortable. I had to actually turn you down a little bit. Have you been interviewed before?
No, but I do sing semi-professionally. I sing with the Sweet Adelines a cappella group out of Temple, Texas, so we do a lot of performances. So And I've never been shy.
Yeah.
Never met a person I didn't like.
I can tell. Yeah, you have the great voice, and
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank you. I have to kind of turn it down a little bit so we stop clipping. Any final thoughts as we head into this week against Manor?
No, we're going to Hendrickson.
Oh, excuse me, Hendrickson. Manor was last week.
We
Thank
already
you so
put
much.
Manor under the table, so I'm very confident the boys will win. We'll be there. We'll be hollering for them, and we had some people sitting in front of us last week. And she said, don't let anybody else sit here because we want to sit next to you next week because you do yell loud. So they were very good people. So
Yes, we love it when you yell loud. That's probably the biggest thing is,
that's what we're here for, yes.
We're very fortunate that we have fans in the stands this year.
Yes.
That was kind of
Yes.
in question at the beginning of the year. So being loud is more key than ever with that
Right.
limited attendance. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Monday that you can start buying tickets, and you can.
That is correct. You can go on GISD website and buy tickets every Monday for the next game. And the Booster Club meets on Monday night at 6 o'clock in the field house. Everyone is welcome. And the Booster Club also has a merchandise booth under the stands. And they are open on home games. So come out and buy your merchandise and support the Booster Club.
Yeah, that's a good point to note out that you don't have to be a parent of a
No,
player to be a
no,
part of
you
the Booster
don't.
Club.
Just be a fan.
Yeah, exactly. And, this is a very well-supported town. And,
Yes, it is.
that's probably the main thing that I noticed about Georgetown is the support from people like you and just, the town in general.
Right. Well, I know Sun City are very good boosters of the Georgetown kids as well. And they've not been able to meet this year because of COVID, but they were very active up until this year. So I'm sure, and I've seen some of the boosters, the Sun City boosters at the game. So I know they're there.
So I'm a little ignorant on how it works around here. Is Sun City not technically Georgetown?
Sun City is a community in itself, but it is a Georgetown. But it is Georgetown. But they have their own clubs. They have their own all sorts of things, But it's just a community on its own. And but they do have a good booster club. When we lived out there, I was on the booster club board, and we traveled with the teams. When the teams went to playoffs, we loaded a bus up and went with them. So.
Well, awesome. Well, I imagine that'll probably happen again. So hopefully we
plan
can.
on it, absolutely.
Yeah,
you guys are going to the playoffs, right?
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to playoffs. Here we are coming in week 5. Only 9 games this year for those of y'all that haven't been keeping up. Only 9 games, and some teams I think only playing 8, and so on. If games are canceled, they probably won't be making them up. But
Right.
looking forward to all the fun that we have for the
Right.
rest of the year. Any
Yes.
final thoughts before we sign off here?
No, I just go win. Beat those Hawks. Pull out their feathers.
All right. Eagle Fight never dies on that
Eagle
one.
fight never
Yeah.
dies.
All right. Well, this is Kate Pledge. Thank you for joining us,
Thank
Kate.
you.
Thank you guys for coming on out this weekend. This Wednesday, we're out here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock at George's on the Town, just south of the San Gabriel River, off of I-35 South. So if you can ever make it out, come on out. Thank you guys for coming on out. Y'all were a great crowd. You can give yourselves a little round of applause. Appreciate all the student athletes coming out, family members, and fans alike. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you all for watching. I've been Carl Schoening. 7 o'clock Friday will be kickoff at Birkelbach Field. We go live at 6:30 with the pregame. Thank you again to our guests, Daniel Obina, Nate Denny, Coach Griffin, and, of course, Kate Pledge here as we wrap things up. See y'all next time.